Another day, another drama. What is up, guys? I'm Sebastian Williams. In this week's episode of Keeping Up with the Beauty Gurus, we have, of course, none other than Mrs. Jeffree Star. She's a regular on the show, and she's back in some, well, controversy. Now, of course, Jeffree Star is very well known for his excessive wealth and his expensive lifestyle. I mean, he has multiple cars, he lives in a big mansion, and that's why a lot of people were really confused when they found out that he's been accepting loans from the government. We'll get into everything. So
it's awful and none of it should have happened.
Rewind. So Business Insider decided to post an article that basically criticized Jeffree Star and a few other YouTubers about accepting loans for Mrs. Rona relief support. So of course, everything going on with Mrs. Rona, governments across the world are trying to support their businesses and economy. I mean, a lot of people's health are at stake too. So it's trying to support the economy, but also trying to not let people get sick. For example, here in the Netherlands, small businesses could apply for a gift and they would receive a few thousand euros. And the government has agreed to pay a certain amount of level of salaries for their employees. I think let's get back to the United States because of course that is where Jeffree Star lives.
Yes.
And the government in the United States has basically implemented the PPP. Girl, I love being a economics major. I don't think a lot of people know this, but I do have a university degree in international business. This is like a very interesting topic for me. I love this, so I'm freaking talking about this, okay? Now, the United States has issued a PPP program, which basically stands for the Payment Protection Program. Now, this program is for small businesses that have been affected by Mrs. Rona and are unable to either pay rent or pay salaries of their employees. And basically, it is a loan, but it will be forgiven if you spend it on rent or your employee salary. So basically, it's a gift, but it's called a loan that will be forgiven by the United States government. And small businesses that suffered from Mrs. Rona could apply to get this. So this program opened up in around May and it ended in August. And approximately 5 million companies have applied for this program, including Killer Merch. Now, this is where it's getting wild, guys. I think many people are very well aware that Killer Merch is Jeffree Star's merch company based like a production, delivery, and design team. And they make the merch of YouTubers and they like manufacture it and whatever. Now, Jeffree Star has mentioned it many times. He's the owner of Killer Merch. He's very much involved in his company.
We also ship merch, a lot of YouTubers, a lot, yeah, so that's something I don't ever talk about or promote. This is obviously a fulfillment center and a merch company. Started Killer Merch, and we ship a lot of people you probably will recognize.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So you... Okay.
So that's a whole separate business from the cosmetics. I just merge it together and it's like a whole...
And he basically has a very active role in the company, if we believe him. And imagine the surprise when an article on Mashable, we have to give credit here, and they said that Killer Merch was enrolled in the PPP program and that they accepted a loan of $300,000 to up to $1 million in Corona support relief funds. Now, what's the controversy, you might ask? Jeffree Star is literally known for his wealth. Like, if you think of Jeffree Star, you think, well, two things. One, two, excessive wealth. Like, his wealth is literally such a big part of his personality.
I don't know, 150 million maybe?
I mean, he owns many luxury vehicles. He owns a big ass mansion. He's good for life. He's set for life. Whether you like it or not, whether you like him or not, he made his coin and he has hella money. The article didn't only just talk about Jeffree Star and Killer Merch. They also talked about Mr. Beast and they talked about Face Clan, which is a gaming group.
They're only the biggest gaming team on YouTube, you dumb bitch.
Who took up to $1 to $2 million in this relief fund. So what is really interesting to note here is that Jeffree Star didn't lose much money during Corona. Of course, maybe production suffered and marketing or the office somehow was jeopardized during Mrs. Rona. But still, he sold merch with Shane Dawson before he got cancelled. But anyways, he sold merch, made hella money on that. He sold a new collection that he just launched with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Like, Jeffree Star has made millions of dollars during Corona, but then also applies with Killer Merch for the funding of Corona relief.
What is next?
And also Mr. Beast has his own company, which is called Mr. Beast YouTube LLC or whatever. They also accepted a loan from up to $1 million as well. And this is also very, very interesting because, of course, Mr. Beast is known for giving away so much to charity. He gives subscribers a lot of gifts and surprises random people with excessive amounts of money. So why are these people getting the funding from a relief fund that is meant to keep small businesses in practice, whereas this person is literally throwing away money on the other hand? Now, Mr. Beast recently tweeted out saying that he's done 4 different videos where he bought 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 and even 1 million worth of scratch off tickets, and all 4 times I lost money. So he's literally spending so much money on scratch tickets, didn't win anything, still applied and gotten the small business relief fund loan from the government. Like, don't get me wrong, Mr. Beast is known for giving away to charity, so definitely not shading him. I just think it's really interesting that this article highlights that these YouTubers are accepting these big funds even though they have excessive amounts of wealth.
Now let's get serious for a second. This is actually important.
Now, this is why I'm highlighting this. I really want to make this clear. So with this program, there was a lot of racial injustice. So here it says on the Wikipedia website, it says that an article of National Geographic stated that 95% of Black-owned businesses and 91% of Latina-owned businesses were unlikely to receive loans because they were very small businesses with few employees and because they did not have existing relationships with banks. The article also said that 41% of Black-owned businesses had already closed permanently, while only 70% of white-owned businesses met this fate. So you can see that Black-owned businesses and Latino-owned businesses are being hit way harder, and when they try to get into the PPP program to get Corona support fundings, they either don't get it or they're excluded or whatever, and they're being hit really hard by this crisis. And therefore I think it's really strange that Jeffree Star is, on the other hand, I'm not saying that he's responsible for that, but I'm saying that I think it's interesting that they are willing to give Killer Merch, a very wealthy company, such a big amount of money, whereas other people are literally suffering and their businesses are being bankrupt, while Jeffree Star has a net worth of over $200 million for sure. So, but on the other hand, Killer Merch is a separate company. Of course, Jeffree Star might be related or the owner of it. It of course still has managers and employees who of course also might be affected by the Corona crisis. So therefore you could argue that, you know, they applied and they got it, so there's nothing wrong. But there is a lot of controversy saying that companies are abusing the system and that they're basically getting loans when they really don't need it, or that it's not necessary. So anyways, that's the tea, guys. Let me know your opinion down below, and then we'll be talking in the next episode of Keeping Up with the Beauty Gurus, which I'm sure won't be very long because these influencers are really trying it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.